Very good morning to everybody. We're standing here on our airstrip. Sun is rising behind us. Myself and Neil are out. Got our warm coffee. We're going to head up around the central northern regions, see if we can maybe get lucky with a cheetah, maybe we get lucky with that leopard cub again, and maybe see what the koppies are up to. But the main aim today is to try and find a cheetah for you guys.
After that beautiful sunrise, we just noticed a lot of vultures to our south here. We're just going to head into the bush and investigate. Hopefully it's the Mbiris. Maybe they're on a kill.
Lots of hooded vultures there, yeah.
So we're just noticing as we're driving in here, there's a lot of different species of vultures, which is what you got to look out for in a kill. So we've got hooded, white-headed, and the white back. So that's a good sign.
A lot of hooded vultures. After going into that area around Helen's Road, we worked the whole area around where the vultures were. We didn't find anything. We're not going to waste much more time this morning. We want to get up north, see if we can maybe find a cheetah. But we're definitely going to come back here later and drive, see if the vultures are still there and see what we can find.
So we've been seeing a lot of the blackback jackal in all of our shows, but we haven't seen this jackal yet. It's called a side stripe jackal. A little bit bigger than the blackback. You can see not as brown and that prominent black saddle over the top. And this guy's more of a hunter, so they'll hunt a lot of rodents, birds, small mammals. It's also a scavenger, but more adaptable than the blackback.
Everybody, we've jumped out the car because we actually thought an elephant was sleeping against the termite mound here, or another name for this is a termitarium. When we got closer and looked at it, it's actually not an elephant that's been lying here, it's a wildebeest. So we will carry on looking for where an elephant has slept against a termitarium, because we've spoken it a few times in the videos of how the elephants have got the sand on the one side and been lying against the termitarium. Just to go in a little bit of detail about these amazing termite mounds. If I start off, it's normally 1/3 above the ground, 2/3 underneath the ground. These massive termites or termitariums can stretch for 50 to 100 meters. Inside the mound, there's a queen. The queen lives for about 20 to 30 years, and she lays thousands of eggs every day. There's a queen and a king, or a drone, and they're the only termites that mate in the mound. All the other termites are sterile, and they're either workers or soldiers. So they either do the work in the mound, or they either protect the mound. What these guys do is they grow fungus. So there's a constant temperature in the mound, anywhere from about 28 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius, which creates a perfect, warm, humid environment. They take the dead and decaying plants and animal matter from all around here into the mound, and they grow fungus, and that's what they feed on. If we go a little bit further and we bring in pangolins and aardvarks, which we don't see too often, they come at night, they dig into the mound, normally the top of the mound, looking for termites. So they create this hole in the mound. They do get a bit of the termites, but the queen is much further down inside the mound. So they only disturb the top layer of the termites, and the termites tend to move down a little bit. That then opens this to hyenas, honey badgers, warthogs, and they take the penthouse of the termitarium and make it their home. So without termite mounds like this, we wouldn't have homes for animals. A termitarium like this could be hundreds of years old. Also, if you look closer on top of the termite mound, there's a lot of green grass. It's a nutrient hotspot. So we often find rhinos, the white rhinos, grazing on this. You often find wildebeest feeding on this. Also, obviously, where the wildebeest has been lying, he's here for a reason. Could be up on the top as a vantage point, so you can see out in these open areas to see if you can see predators.
The other day we showed you the red crested quin in that display flight of his. So we didn't manage to have a good look at the bird itself, and here is another red crested quin. Spend most of the day in these grasslands. You can see their camouflage is very good for that grassland habitat.
We've checked the northern plains, no luck with this cheetah. We're going to head back into the area around Helen's Road, see if we can pick up what those vultures were in those trees for. We are going to go past Kokomoya Dam. It's always nice to pick up stuff around this time of the morning there, but let's go back to that area and see what we can find around those vultures.
It's a great little find to find this pearl spotted owlet. Don't know if you first saw when you first found it or saw it. There we go again. See those black patches? Those are designed to be false eyes, so it gives a predator the effect that it's actually looking at them. Can turn their head about 270 degrees, owls. So they have this incredible range of vision. Their eyes are so large due to their good nocturnal vision that they can't actually move their eyes within their socket, so they've got to turn their head. And then those false eyes give that impression that they're actually looking at maybe a potential predator. So these little guys are what we call crepuscular. So they're actually very active early morning throughout sort of towards mid-morning, and then also just before sunset. So they're more active during the day than a lot of the other owl species out here. So that's why we're still seeing him nicely in the open like this. Feeding mostly on insects and maybe small rodents, some very small birds. Often see them getting mobbed by different birds trying to chase them out the area. So we managed to find the Mbiri Pride. They are about 500 meters away from where we saw all those vultures. We just bumped into them on one of the roads opposite that sighting of the vultures we had. So far there's just a few females here, larger females, and there's one young male there. He's busy feeding on the remains. It's just a few bones that are left, so this carcass is pretty much finished. We're not sure where the rest of the pride are. They could have either gone for a drink or lying up already in some shade, or these lions managed to pull apart some of this carcass and ran off with it. This is one of the younger males feeding here. He probably didn't get much chance with those bigger males in the pride, so he's just feeding off these scraps now. Looks like they have killed a wildebeest. This female in the front left, you'll see she's busy eating still on the head. You can just see the horns of the wildebeest there. What a great find to the end of our drive. It's been a very productive drive. We didn't manage to find the cheetah, but a nice bonus here with these lions. It's the first time we've seen these lions since the Nompetu incident, so a bit of mixed feelings, but still a fantastic sighting of them. You can see this male's licking these ribs clean with his razor sharp tongue. If you've got a house cat at home, you'll know their tongue. I imagine that of a lion, incredibly rough. We're going to head off back to camp and leave these lions to finish off here. We'll come and follow up on them again this evening, see if they've all managed to rejoin each other. Maybe they'll go for a drink, and we'll follow them a bit into the night, and we will see you then.